Hi, my name is Savannah here with YOGATX, and I'm going to bring with you a short and sweet restorative. I don't even want to call it flow because the only thing that'll be continuously flowing is your breath, but it'll be a series of postures where we give ourselves plenty of time to do absolutely nothing. And we're going to start on our back. If you'd like, you can go ahead and grab yourself a pillow or a bolster. It doesn't have to be fancy. A block is optional, and we'll just have it nearby in case your body feels like it would want to be supported, and I'll give you plenty of options along the way. So once you come down to your back, we are going to start with either that block or the pillow. And we're going to bring that right underneath our hips. And I always tell my students that there will be a Goldilocks spot with this. If the place of support underneath your hips is too low, the low back will sink towards the mat and it just won't feel that supported. If it's too high, your hips won't feel like it's supported and the tailbone will be dropping down. So you're just going to find that in-between place where both the back of the hips and the low back feels like it's almost being held up. So the muscles around the hips, the front of the abdomen, and in the low back can start to ease off and chill out as we relax back. You can either start with the arms alongside you, or if the floor is cold or you just want to stay on your mat, maybe you relax the hands on your low abdomen. It's always your choice whether you choose to start class with your eyes open or closed. But just finding a way where the muscles around the eyes could start to let go, whether that's casting a simple soft gaze towards the ceiling or closing the eyelids. As you breathe in, following the breath in through both nostrils, down to a low point in the belly, and we'll exhale out through pursed lips. A couple rounds of that, inhaling through the nose, pulling the breath down to a low point in the belly. And a long exhale out through pursed lips. Three more breaths, just like that. Feeling that by the end of each exhale, your body sinks into the contacts of support with the floor, either your pillow or bolster. And there's this idea that we always have support around us, but our system doesn't fully relax until we release into that support given. The breath can stay subtle and smooth, or maybe you start to feel that the length of the breath grows with your exhale and gradually deepens with your inhalation. Filling up the belly, the ribs, the sides. And just like a wave comes to its highest peak, your inhale will come to its peak. And as you exhale, just like a wave would crash towards the shore and sink into the sand, your breath guides the movement out of the belly. And we'll feel the belly sink towards the spine, maybe pausing there for a moment before you breathe in again. In and out through the nose now. Noticing if the shoulder muscles have started to let go. Maybe the sides of the neck can start to release as the weight of the head feels supported by the floor. And on your next breath in, go ahead and feel the ribs engage and widen. Open the eyes if they're closed, and on the exhale, drawing the right knee towards your chest. You can keep the left knee bent here, and I always recommend clasping the hands behind the thigh so that the shoulders can drop back, and the clasped fingertips kind of just does the work for you as you're here. As I mentioned, you can stay here, or maybe you start to walk that left foot out long, stretching out through the front of the left hip. Same thing with the breath here. As you breathe in, the belly fills, the ribs fill. And a full exhale as you gently draw the belly back towards the spine. Giving yourself about 45 seconds to a minute to sink into your place of comfort, and that might change over time. Noticing if you're holding the right thigh really close to you, or if you could just let the weight of the right leg take the arms along, and the shoulders let go here. And whether that left leg is straight or the left knee is bent, we'll start to find gentle movement through the right leg. On your next breath in, let the right heel lift up. It doesn't have to be high at first. We'll flex the toes back at the top of your inhale. And as you exhale, feel the heel deflate down and the knee gets pulled towards the chest. Let the inhale start and then the movement. Heel lifts up. Toes flex back. Exhale to release. Instead of seeing how high the leg could go or how intense you could find the sensation to be, just move in the range that feels comfortable and sustainable for both your breath and your body. 2 more breaths in and out just like that. And then we'll return the right foot down. If that left leg is straightened, go ahead and rebend the left knee, and we'll slide right leg out long. Go ahead and let the heel find the ground. Maybe you wiggle the toes from side to side. You can pause here. Maybe you draw the right, or on the left side, left thigh toward your chest. Clasp the fingertips behind the thigh and feel that clasp be strong enough to where the arms don't have to muscle your leg forward. Instead, the leg kind of just holds the arm there. Check in with your breath here. This side might be different. So maybe you straighten the leg last time. Maybe the low back is asking you to keep the right knee bent this time. Notice which place feels most conducive to a nice and smooth breath for you. And we'll give ourselves about 2 to 4 inhales through the nose and exhales out through the nose before we change anything just yet. When you're ready to start that movement, let the inhale start first. Left heel lifts up maybe about halfway. Toes flex back. And then exhale, pull the knees towards you. That's when the elbows will bend. Breathing in, left heel reaches up with the breath. Toes flex back at the top of the breath, and as soon as you start exhaling, instead of holding that sensation really tight, release it. Let the back of the leg relax. Ebbing and flowing between those 2 extremes without having to take it to the extreme sensation. So many times we think that our ability to get more flexible is aligned with the ability to really force our muscles to be long. But remember that tightness is a response from the nervous system. When one of your muscles feels unsafe, it tightens and it guards itself. The best way to get flexible is to teach the body that it's supported and that we're not asking too much of it too soon. 2 more rounds with the breath. And then Releasing the left foot down. And rebend the right knee if that was straightened for you. And we'll hug both knees into the chest. You might rock the body from side to side, or maybe now that you've taken some time to relax the back of your leg muscles, you explore lifting both legs up and both feet down. With the breath, breathing in, both heels reach up. And both heels relax down. One more round. And on your next breath out, relaxing the feet down. Instead of pulling ourselves up, go ahead and roll over towards your left. Press yourself up. And we'll find that pillow of support with our legs going over towards the left. So I call this mermaid. It might be called something else. If you're a guy, I had some guy today in class say, well, you know, it's really like merman. So you can have a merman or a mermaid tail, whatever makes your life better. And we will take it with a couple options from here. I like to walk directly away from my legs. So if my legs are going over to the left, walking directly over towards the right. Bringing both hands down towards the ground, that's asking for your ribs to twist and come down towards the ground. You can either use your pillow here, or if you're like me and like to keep your sternum lifted, you might bring that block right underneath the ribs and create a little pillow with your hands for the forehead to rest on. This feels so nice for the back, but for some people, the twist is too much too soon. You can do the same exact thing with less of an angle towards the right and more of just a walk forward. So finding the direction that'll be most comfortable for you to walk into, and then giving yourself plenty of time to figure out, how am I going to be most comfortable here, and how is my breath going to stay smooth and long? The only way your breath will stay smooth and long is if the body is comfortable. So don't try to fight an uncomfortable position with a forceful inhale and exhale. Just find the position that will bring comfort in. Once you're here, see if you could find the inhale's movement in the back and the sides of the ribs. Reconnecting with the points of contact your body has with the floor as you breathe out. Feeling the shoulders soften. Giving yourself a couple rounds of breath. Maybe even a little pause at the end of your exhale before you breathe in again. Knowing that the neck muscles are the last thing that are likely to let go. So if the shoulders still feel tense, you can always bring the arms out a little wider. And we'll take 8 more breaths in through the nose and either out through pursed lips or out through your nostrils. The idea is we want to keep our body as relaxed and at ease as we come out of the pose as it is when we're in the pose. Transitions are really important. So when you're ready, you can take the hands underneath the shoulders and see if you can leave the weight of the head really heavy towards the floor. So even as the arms work to press your body up, the head is heavy and the last thing to lift up. Then you can bring the hands behind you, and if you liked those pieces of support, the blanket or the block, you can bring it to the other side. And we'll bring the legs over towards the left, and our supports over towards, legs over towards the right, supports over towards the left. You'll get a little brain foggy after this stuff. It really takes you down. And then go ahead and walk yourself even with your hip directly towards the left, or if that feels like too much of a twist coming from the ribs, you can angle yourself more in the direction of your left knee. Using whatever supports you like. This side might be different, so maybe if you're using that block, you lift it up one level higher if this side doesn't like to twist as much. And the head finds the support, whether that's on the hands or your pillow. As you're breathing in, sending your attention to the back of the ribs like they could extend up towards the ceiling. About 60% of your lung tissue lives in your back. And for those of us that spend a lot of time just breathing into the chest or just breathing into the belly, we can miss a lot of important movement in the back of our ribs and the sides of our ribs with our breath. And letting each breath take time. And I like to think of each breath as a little guided meditation on its own, guiding the inhale down, resisting the urge to hold the breath in, immediately moving the breath out. And a moment of pause, a moment of silence at the end of your exhale before your next run of breath comes in. And asking the body if the shoulders and the neck could soften any more. And staying here for about 6 to 8 more breaths. Feeling the outer hips and the back of the knees start to release. You'd be surprised how long it takes for the body to realize that it's held before it fully starts to let go. And finding practices that are close to the ground with support can be so nourishing for our body when we feel like we're having to be in control of so much in our life. We know we're gripping for control when we find our breath being held. It's our subconscious urge to stop the world or control what's going on. Instead, how could you just be here with your inhale and your exhale as it turns to the next breath? And another full exhale out here. The same way we came out of the pose the last time, planting the hands underneath the shoulders, letting the head be nice and heavy, pushing the ground away, and letting the head be the last thing that lifts up. We'll go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Close the eyes, and you can rest your hands on your thighs, or maybe the palms draw towards each other in front of your sternum. Taking a full breath in and a breath out through pursed lips. My one wish for you throughout this class and throughout the days coming after this class is that you not only find the support that's already there for you, but you allow yourself to sink into it, to lean into that support. Namaste. I salute you for coming here and doing the hard thing, which is peeling back effort. When we want to muscle through things, this is the challenging practice sometimes for us. And feel free to come back to it, see how it feels different each time you do it. And if you want to come say hello to me, you can come visit me on Instagram. My name is Savannah, and you might even pop on my email list so I can shoot out ideas and thoughts to you. Have a good one.